The Clio. I've talked about the problems of the 4th generation in the previous video, so now comes the question. Buy a used one or get a new 5th generation one? To make things simple, I'll be looking at the base model, which costs just under 12,000 euros over here and comes with a 5-speed manual and a tiny 3-cylinder with 65 horses. On the other hand, a used Clio will be around 6,000 to 9,000, depending on its odometer, equipment, and health of the car, of course. But getting a cheaper one might not necessarily be the best choice, considering you could get saddled with a bunch of repair bills. Whoever is selling their old car might not have serviced it, changed the tires, or took care of malfunctions. This is all you will need to check thoroughly before parting with your hard-earned money. If it needs new tires, you'll want a new set of summer and winter ones, costing you around 600 to 700 euros. Brakes are next, both the discs as well as the pads, possibly the rear drums. For the front, the price is going to be hovering around 140 to 200 euros, while the rear is more expensive at 300. If the weather is nice, pour some water over the windshield and check the wipers. Are they leaving streaks? All 3 replacements will be around 30 euros, depending on the brand. Just remember, the modern blade design ones are usually better for rain, yet far worse for removing snow than the regular wipers. There's also the regular service interval, which will cost you from 140 to 250 euros. On the other hand, you could buy a new Clio, which will come with a warranty. And if you're willing to play the back and forth negotiations for a while, you could get up to 1,000 euros discount, possibly some free winter tires. All in all, that's about 2,000 to 2,500 more than getting a used Clio. Considering you'd be buying new, with LED lights, those shouldn't be a problem for a long time. That, coupled with a warranty, offers a rather inviting choice. So, what about the engines? There's a bunch of them available, especially if you're looking at both the 4th as well as the 5th generation. You have 2 choices basically, gas or diesel. The diesel is pretty straightforward, a 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine that delivers plenty of torque for the car. It's not a racer, but will give you good fuel economy and won't let you feeling like you've bought an asthmatic hamster under the hood. It's not as refined as the gas engines, although one could argue that against the 3 cylinders, which tend to shake a bit more. The gas options are a little more varied. At the bottom, you have the aforementioned 3-cylinder power plants, which are fine, although I would suggest you get the more powerful version. It's fun to drive, even if it suffers from the usual feeling of not having enough power on acceleration from a standstill. For some reason, I always feel like these engines are going to fall apart. Moving up to the 1.3 obviously requires a much bigger price point to meet, but it does transform the little Clio into a rather fun and surprising little car. Just don't expect any really good economy with the most powerful version. Coupled with this is the fact that the new Clios on offer now bring in the mild hybrid technology, upping the horsepower and torque as well as lower emissions and consumption. Like I usually say with these smaller cars, get a diesel for economy and the more powerful gas engines for the fun. The tiny 3-cylinders are a little bit too asthmatic for my taste, although I am a bit biased against them.